A review from the DWRG from David Barnes. Logopolis is the best Doctor Who story published, 18 for the photo too. For several years I had been comforted by the thought that I knew what my top 10 Doctor Who adventures were, but recently it seems to have been bumped about. I realised that the Macra Terror and the Daleks weren't as good as they used to be, and Talons of Wenshang and Daleks Master Plan were brought in as replacements, but The Curse of Fenric was still my favourite story. Then today I saw Logopolis again and I finally realised Logopolis is my favourite Doctor Who story. Let's go through it by episodes like I usually do. Episode 1, Tegan is introduced and is actually very good throughout the story, unlike during later years when she becomes one of the worst ever companions and isn't irritable at all. Don Baker is pretty good as the Doctor. Matthew Waterhouse turns in a good performance as Adric. The idea of the TARDISes inside each other, an idea previously visited in The Time Monster, was realised very effectively here, and the Master's presence is very creepy. But one of the best things about the story that helps raise it above others was the Watcher. His presence creates an atmosphere that is very dark and unnerving. He's the creepiest character in all of Doctor Who. The cliffhanger is very good as well. Episode 2, I agree that the Doctor's plan to flush out the Master is dreadful, but it does lead to another superb scene of the Watcher. When we get to Logopolis, the society that is shown to us is very well done. The man who played the Monitor is very good, and the death of Logopolis towards the end of the story is brilliant. Sarah Sutton is reintroduced as Nyssa and is very good, as is the cliffhanger. Episode 3, this is where Tom Baker really excels in this story, especially his "I can't choose the companions I keep" speech. That shot of the Master in the Logopolitan booth is excellent. This is Anthony Ainley's finest performance as the Master, and it is also the best Master story. He is on the very brink of madness, and when he causes all the Logopolitans to die, he blames it on the Monitor and the Doctor, claiming that they did it to stop his success. The Watcher is still around, and the death of Logopolis is very well done. Episode 4, the Monitor's death is very disturbing, and is, to the contrary of Tegan, the more horrific death than Shrinking. I think this is a scene where she realises that her home has been destroyed is one of the best scenes in Doctor Who. The Master is still trying to get a good outcome for himself, and the bit where it looks like he's going to kill the bloke in the Pharos Project building, but he doesn't, is brilliant. He's just pointing a radio doohickey at him, much to the Doctor's surprise. Only when the Doctor walks away does the Master try to kill the man with his tissue compression eliminator. And then there's the ending. The final confrontation between the Master and the Doctor is superbly scripted and acted, and the death of the Doctor is shown marvellously, especially so when you consider that you can never see the Doctor fall. The clips are good, and the Black Guardian's line, "Doctor, you shall die for this," is very fitting for what would happen a minute later. The regeneration scene is the best one of all the regenerations, and the music is very nice, even though nice is a very dodgy word. My only gripe is that I think the ending should have been when the Doctor regenerated. Instead we get that silly shot of the Doctor sitting up. Anyway, this story is now my favourite, and it's 10 out of 10 for the moment.